Okay, awesome. Welcome, everyone. I feel like it's been a long day coming. Thank you for showing up. I'm Dr. Dominique Reese. I'm a financial coach. I serve LA County, and I help my clients with anything that impacts their money. If I'm unable to help my clients, I will work with you to find the right resource and/or the right professional so that you can still accomplish your goals. We are here today because we are hosting a workshop titled How to Get Your Business Certified for City and County Contracts, right? Prior to this workshop, I taught a workshop on how to start your business. It was called Hire Myself, How to Start My Side Business. So this is literally directly from that workshop. The people spoke, the people said they wanted to learn more about certification. So that's how we came up with this topic. So I pray that it is valuable for you, that you get what you need from it, and it is very practical. So I'm going to walk you through all of the documents that I'm going to hand to you, and unfortunately we don't have the technology. There's a bit of moving around this morning, so we're going to roll with it, but you will leave with the information you need to take action literally once you walk out of these doors. So you will have what you need to get started. Sign-in sheet should be going around. Make sure you sign the sign-in sheet. That way I will send you this recording. So whatever you don't capture in your notes, you'll have it in the recording once I send that out. Also, all of the papers that I'm sending you or giving to you in person, I can email, so you will have a soft copy in your email. So just make sure you sign in. And Mr. Rogers, we go work on that. I'll make sure you get your copies as well. And if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to stop and ask me. Dynamic, interactive, I prefer that. And we are recording outside of that. Any questions before I dive in? Nope. All right, so the first set of papers you have talk about the certifications themselves. Now, disclaimer, I do not work for the county. I do not do these presentations for the county yet. I literally am a small business owner. I heard that there's money in the county. I'm like, well, how do you get the money? I believe everything in divine order. I literally got invited to Inglewood Small Business, like Chamber of Commerce meeting. And at that meeting, they were talking about certification. And he laid it all out. So I'm gonna share with you what I learned. And this was literally maybe over a year ago now. So around January, March of 2018, when I learned this information. And this is literally how it came to me. I just got invited to a meeting, I showed up, and that's where I learned what I'm gonna share with you. So ideally, right now in our county, there's billions of dollars flowing in. And I know we hear that all the time, right? Billions of dollars. How do you get the money? So where's the money coming from? Why? One, we have LAX. LAX is redoing an entire terminal. So that's a huge billion-dollar project. Two, we have Metro, the Metro Rail, getting people to the airport, right? Lots of construction. We've got 2 stadiums being built. So that in itself, lots more construction, but moving parts all throughout the county. And then lastly, we're preparing for the Olympics, 2028. So yes, because last year they were like, it's 10 years away. So we have lots of activity in the county. And when you hear about this activity, the first thing that came to my mind, at least as a small business owner, was, okay, well, who are they going to work with to get all this done? Because by law, they have to contract with certain companies in order to get the work done. Well, what kinds of companies? Certified companies. Now, you cannot be certified and still get access. So sorry, I got to come back down and get you.
It's okay.
Oh, thank you, Father. Make sure you sign in, Ms. Giselle. Ms. Deborah has it. So what kinds of companies? Certified companies. Even if you're not certified, you can still get access to these contracts. You'll just be bidding on them just like any other business. The benefit to being certified is you get priority. There is literally, by law, preference programs that certified businesses are awarded 5%, 10%, 25%, whatever the quota is for those contracts. So imagine all this work happening, They're called primes. Primes are the big guys. They get the $1 billion, bless you, they get the $1 billion contracts, and then they have to subcontract out to smaller businesses. Well, when they start to look, they go to this database, right? How do you get in the database? We'll talk to you about that as well. They go to the database and they say, well, who's already in the database? And those are already certified businesses. So literally, if I'm a prime and I need an event catering company because I'm going to host an event, I'm going to go to the database and I'm going to find certified catering and event companies. If you're there, then you're findable. So I might just reach out to you. Just being there is half the battle, right? If you're not there and there's no one there, because sometimes there's no one there, then they have to go looking for us. And that's when the hunt is on. So then you might see a RFP come down or request for proposal come down. You might see a bid open up. So literally, this is the back end process. So I thought, okay, well, let me be findable. Let me get certified so I'm already in the database. That way, when they come looking for anything, I'm there. Then there's like little rules and tricks of the trade where, you know, if there's only so many businesses that respond to a particular RFP and you're certified, you get even more of a preference. So again, just being certified bumps you up in that bidding process. And if there is no other company bidding on it, depending on the amount, it might go straight to you. So the benefits of certification, I think, are obvious. If you're certified, you're findable by the primes. You're in a database that you might not otherwise know about being in unless you're certified. That's literally how I came to know it. Outside of that, there's the process I'm going to teach today, which is, okay, well, if I want to get certified, how do I go and get into the database? And I will tell you off the bat, it's madness. It's a lot of websites. It's confusing, like, okay, which one do I do? Am I duplicating my efforts? And it's not clear. So I'm going to give you my experience with how I got certified. So you'll see these different websites. And well, unfortunately, we don't have technology, but I have the screenshots. You'll see these things so that when you're out there doing your search, getting certified, this won't be unfamiliar to you. I have already shown it to you, so you'll know you're on the right path, or you know exactly where you need to be. Aside from that, once you're certified, so you start receiving these emails literally daily. This contract has come out. This bid is out there. And it could be about anything, literally. I've seen so many contracts for dirt hauling, but it makes so much sense. There's so much activity, so much construction, that there's a need for dirt haulers. So I'm like, okay, how can I get a truck and like somebody to drive it? Like, how can I meet the need? Because it just seems that simple, right? So I'm like, all right, dirt. And then there's training. So maybe you're a trainer and you provide training. Oh, you probably lost it. You provide training. There are tons of contracts right now. Department of Water and Power needs to do a training for their employees. Another state agency needs to do training for their employees. They provide you with the curriculum. You just got to lay out the plan. Where are you going to host it? How much it's going to cost? Submit the bid and go for it. So it's literally like a whole nother world. And if you don't know about it, you just won't know about it. So I'm here to spread the good word.
Thank you.
Now, thank you, Father, because I know it because I did it. Now I have several designations, and as you will see on the, oh, let me get you some paperwork. As you'll see on the paperwork that I've handed out, there are several designations, which is why this can get so confusing. Some designations build on each other, meaning you might need one in order to apply for the others. Others, they just are what they are. You can apply straight away for it. I started with the small business certification, and you won't necessarily see that one in here for a reason, I'm assuming. And again, I'll show you how to get it. So all of the paperworks are relevant. I didn't want to just give you stuff because you can go Google this stuff on your own. Really, the information that you need is exactly what I'm going to hand to you, and it's about the process. So from these paperworks, there's four different papers. 3 of them talk about specific designations. I'm not going to go into them. You can read them at your leisure. But these are designations that you would want to go for, and the process that I'm going to show you is how you're going to do that. There's a 5th paper that talks about register to do business with the state. Does everyone have that one? So this is extremely important. This is how I kind of like got started, literally stumbling on websites. And I did this and I came out with my first designation in 24 hours. Had no idea it was literally that easy. Like, they make it seem like this stuff is just gonna take forever. However, the history of certification is that it did take forever and it wasn't online. So they literally completely overhauled the system. Now, what used to take like 6 months, and if your paperwork had any errors in it, it would get kicked back, you gotta start all over. So they have made some extreme improvements, but this process is online now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But again, it's confusing because there's a lot of different sites. This is where you wanna get started first. This is down to the T of what you want to do. You'll see on here, based on what it's asking you, because I was like, okay, well, I really want to give you the information you'll need before you get here so you'll have it. But some of it is very basic. So for example, to set up your company profile. Well, one, you have to have a company. So if you haven't already established your business, that's going to be the first step. Outside of that, your EIN, which in the next set of paperwork I'm going to give you, we'll talk about how to get your EIN. What else is on here? Website, if you have it. Primary address. So if your address for your business is not your home, then you may want to look into either a PO box or a mailing address where, like if you don't have a physical location yet, there are copy centers or mailbox places where you can rent a mailbox and it'll give you a physical address so you don't just have a PO box. Those are really helpful. So a few preliminaries before you get here. Now, if you don't have that, obviously, you can still go through this process, but you'll see what you need to get in order to complete this process. So keep this as your first guide to get set up, create a registration. So notice the language as well. Registration versus certification. So the registration is really like getting you in a system to be more like a vendor, right? So you just want to do business with the city, the state, the county, you got to register as a vendor first. So that's literally what we're doing by registering. We're getting recognized as a vendor to even be able to do business. And again, you don't have to be certified to do business with any of these agencies. It's just with certification, you get that preference. The county likes to do business with certified businesses because they're the ones who manage the certification. So it's like, it's working. We're getting these businesses certified, we're getting them contracts, and everybody wins, except for they don't make it so easy for us to find it. So that's the first set of paperwork. I'll let you read through that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but I'll tell you straight up, I'm not the expert. However, on one of these websites where I'll get to, there's a link that says Certification Advocate. So there are resources for you to be able to reach out to someone and literally talk to someone about where you are in the process. Hey, I'm trying to do this, I'm stuck, help me out. This all comes from the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. They're a county agency, they manage this whole process. So any of your questions about the certification specifically, about getting the certification if you're online and you're stuck, call the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. It's a county agency, they manage the certification process. Okay, let's shift. And the next set of paperwork I'm going to hand you are for getting your business started on paper. Now, I wanted to give this to you just in case you are not already set up and or you want to start a different business and need to get set up. So these are literally, thank you, ma'am, paperwork Got you, Miss Devin. To get your business set up on paper. So this means going to Norwalk, or you're welcome, or any other locations. And let me show you the locations you have at your disposal. So the last page of that packet looks like this. It's a 2-pager. This is literally from the Norwalk County Clerk's office. I took a field trip, got some paperwork, made some copies for you. There are several area offices which you can find here. However, the closest for me is Norwalk, so I always go there for all business stuff. And I will say, it's never really too crazy. Like, it used to be lines out the door, but they've automated a lot of that too, so it's not so bad anymore. You don't need an appointment or anything. You just go down there, you fill out your paperwork, and this is the step that you will take to get your business set up on paper and get your FBN, your fictitious business name, how you're doing business in the state. So basically, this process is just all about getting your business recognized by the state of California as a business. Like, I want to do business here. Let me get the business up and running on paper. This is that process. So I've included some of the fees based on the type of business you want to set up: LLC, sole prop, corporation, S Corp, B Corp, C Corp, general limited partners. Like, all of that is in here, and these forms are directly from that office. So you have what you need in order to know how to set the business up on paper. This page, Metro, let's talk about this for a second. So Metro, literally MTA, they are a huge authority here in California. They have the authority to issue certifications. Metro's, oh, right here has an M on it. Okay. So Metro's certification process is known as the gold standard. Like, if you get certified through Metro, you're certified. Like, they are the gold standard. Now, I've attended their workshops, which you can as well. Metro.connect, or just Google Metro Connect. When you get to that website, click through to events, and you'll see every month they have these exact same workshops for you to go and learn what it takes to get certified with Metro. Now, Metro is completely different. Like, it is, they will analyze everything down to the penny based on the paperwork you submit. So when you get ready for Metro, you got to be ready. You can start this process online, which I did, just filling out everything that I found, but I realized I've got to get more stuff for Metro. Like, it's deep. So when you go to the Metro website for certification based on this paper, you can set up an account, you can do all of that, but they have an expiration date. If you don't complete your application, I want to say within 6 months or something like that, they're going to send you an email, say, hey, it's expired, you got to start all over. I got that email, that's how I know. So I am in the process of redoing and starting over for Metro. But get it filled in, like, create your account, that way you can just see everything that it's asking for, and it's deep. It's going to go into your personal net worth statement, it's going to go to your business net worth statement. Part of that is because Metro is transportation, so they are governed by Department of Transportation, which is another federal agency as well. So there's a lot more involved with getting certified with Metro, but that's why they're the gold standard, because they've done tons of background work on you, and their certification takes months. And if it's not proper the first go round, you have, like, there's a waiting period. Like, you can't just apply again, you gotta wait. So I would encourage you, especially if you're into transportation or infrastructure, things like that, because they've got tons of contracts right now, but you gotta be ready for it. So if that is the goal, I would highly encourage you to attend one of their events, hear from them, ask the questions that you might have, but then you could get more paperwork. You'll see their application, and they'll tell you literally everything that you need to do to get it right the first time. It's about an hour presentation. It's downtown at the Union Station, at the Metro headquarters. But they have them every month faithfully. So again, Metro Connect is the website, and it might even be on this paper somewhere. But if not, Metro Connect, just Google it, and that's where you can find all of the events that they have around certification. So that's this set of paperwork. Any questions about that, Mr. Evans?
So who is the easiest to get into?
Great question. That leads me right to the next set of paperwork, which, not that one. That's literally the process I did. Once I started clicking through websites and figuring out what would actually let me do something, and then, right, and then I got a confirmation saying, hey, you're certified. I was like, okay, I got something. So that's what I'm gonna show you. And these are literally screenshots of what you'll see if you do what I did. There's no rhyme or reason. I just wanted to take you through it so you would be familiar with what pops up and you would know if it's legit or not, because it's a lot of stuff that's not legit as well. And it might look like an official county website, but they're not. So I wanted to just give you what I call the customer experience on the web if you were to just Google some of the things that I Googled. So we're gonna walk through that now. So page one, number one, when you Google how to get certified as a small business in California, you get the following. So this was literally, I did this earlier this week, or I guess today's on Tuesday. So between the last 2 days or so, oh yeah, the 23rd, it is. So this is what came up when I Googled. What you're gonna do, you're gonna click on SB-DVBE certification. So SB stands for small business. That's the certification that I mentioned. DVBE stands for Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. And that should be in the first 4 pages that I had given you. The DVBE, yes, this one. Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. So that's for any veteran in particular.
How the easiest to get into?
No, not necessarily. This one I'm about to tell you about, the small business one is. So when you click on SB-DVBE certification, and you see it says Cal e-Procure, that goes back to this page where I said it was gonna be the first step. So I didn't know this then, but it all makes sense to me now. So this and the SB certification go hand in hand. So when you click on that link, this is the image that you'll get. So that's why I put that screenshot there. You're in the right place. You're interested in the small business certification if you're not a disabled veteran. So then you're gonna click on, let's see, number 4. Click doing business with the state, which is gonna be a link under outreach resources. So on that screen, you see outreach resources, then you're gonna click doing business with the state. Now, of course, click all around because it's just the website, but I was giving you the straight way to get to the certification piece. But once you get to this website, click around, see what it's about, have at it. But under doing business with the state is where you wanna be. Next page, once you click that, you're gonna get how to do business with the state of California. So again, just be mindful of like what we're doing. So when I snapped out, I said, okay, so this is for me to get registered to do business with the state. So we're not talking county or city level yet. This is like California is recognizing me as a vendor to do business here. So that's what we're doing, which is what you want to do. Also notice in the corner, because none of this made sense to me then, DGS, in this little corner, DGS. That stands for, you follow me, Mr. Rogers, you good? No. We on number 5. Let me see, where are you at?
On the back, yeah.
Oh, that's ahead. Here we are. And this probably goes there. And we are here. Okay. DGS in this little corner stands for Department of General Services. So literally, what does that mean? Okay, that means I'm gonna be getting emails from the Department of General Services about all kinds of things. Dirt hauling, training, community engagement, health. I've seen everything comes through there. Department of General Services. So again, it just helps you to understand, okay, what am I getting myself into, but what kinds of opportunities will be coming to me? Department of General Services. So this part is where, yes.
The reason I don't know if you know the reason why, because this is, DGS is where all of their funding, and they are the primary department that gives you the okay for their budget for the year.
Okay.
So if it's not approved, then DGS won't approve it, and you have to redo your budget.
Okay.
So that's why you see everything.
All
comes from
things.
there. Exactly. So all the cleaning bids,
yes,
everything comes through them because they are approving the budget.
Those budgets.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Father. So good. All this education makes sense. And again, you won't learn this stuff on your own. So you'll just be fiddling through like I did. So thank you, Robin, because it's good to have that understanding. So then when you're on that page, you're going to click register to do business with the state of California. And let's see, register. So you'll scroll down. So this is the page that'll come up when you click SBDVB certification, how to do business with the state. Under other resources, this page comes up. Then you want to click register to do business with the state of California, which is going to be further down on that page. When you do that, this is what's going to come up next. And this is where this page I told you about, that'll get you in there. This is when that kicks in. So just knowing what you'll need by the time you get ready to log in here, make it that much easier. But go ahead, set up your account, log in, and you're going to see exactly what's required. Now, a lot of times you're going to need your FBN, which is your fictitious business name statement. If you don't have that, then you want to go to Norwalk, set the business up, and you'll get your FBN. And with that, I should say, just for full transparency, for the FBN, you will need to publish for, I think it's 2 or 4 weeks, one of them, I can't remember, in a local newspaper, 2 weeks, okay? So,
at the court.
And they all are right there. So they will find you, literally, helling you down. Hey, you need to publish, you need to publish. Yes, I do. I got my paperwork. They'll walk you over to their office. I want to say I paid like maybe $40 for to get published in 1 or 2 or 3, however many local papers you have to do, but they'll handle it for you for a flat fee. Knock that out. Once you're done that, then you're good. So then you'll take that fictitious business name. You'll need your EIN, which I'll talk about again, how to get the EIN. What is the EIN? EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. And it is basically like a social security number for your business, basically. And you want that because you want to separate yourself from your business as much as possible. So you get the EIN and you do that online. I have some slides that I'll cover on how to do that. FBN, EIN, and then your personal information, your name, your social, addresses, all of that kind of stuff is going to be plopped into this system once you log in. And again, Cal e-procure. So what does that mean? Now we're procuring contracts with California. As Robin mentioned, it's coming from all these different departments, which is why it's general services. It could be anything that comes down. So as long as you're like paying attention to the logos, the language, you'll know you're in the right place, because I don't want you to get caught up in a spam site or something like that, because there's a lot of them out there. And everything is free at this point. You should not have to pay for none of this. Now, of course, there are people who do charge to do this kind of work because it's confusing and takes a commitment to get through it in one fell swoop. But you can totally do it free. So just be mindful. This is where you will begin. Like, set up the account, log in, have at it. Any questions that might come up, there's some help resources in there. Just reach out to the people, let them know you're applying, you're in the system. They could probably go on the back end, see where you are, where you're stuck, and then they'll assist you from there. So that's literally the first step, and that'll get you in to get your first designation. So let me just see where I am for a second. Okay, so create a profile account. Once you do that, you can search. Okay, so once you're in, you're going to be able to search for current state contracts and peruse the database. So you can see what's out there. You following, Mr. Rogers? Let's see, we're at Okay, we're done with that one. And we are here.
Dr. Reese, you're presenting.
Okay. Hey, come on in. It's all good. So we're at D, create a profile account. On 8D, so like the second or third page. Get familiar with what is there. From here, you will receive emails based upon the settings you create in your account. I completed this application profile on April 28, 2018. So I tell you that because, again, I was figuring it out for myself, so it took me a while to finally get it. But I will show you why I'm telling you that date in a second. The Department of General Services is what I found next, Google Small Business Certification, California. So I was all over the place, basically coming back to the exact same website. And it might look a little different, but that's why I told you to pay attention to the logos and the names, because I literally came, I don't know how I got there, but I got to the same website, just a different way. So I wanted to put that in here as well, so you know, some of the stuff loops back, some of the websites are old, they're updating some of them, but you're in the right place, okay? Let's see. Okay, so once you get to Department of General Services State of California website, Procurement Division, they're gonna have it big and bold, certification program. Certification program is where you wanna be, because now we're about to talk about the different certifications. Now, mind you, you might seem like you're doing the same thing over and over again, because you are. It's okay. That's why I said I have another paper I'm gonna hand you where it's like the things to have handy, because it'll be the same things over and over. The other thing you wanna do is make sure you scan this, have all of your stuff electronic. Have your FBN electronic, have your business license electronic, your tax certificates. If your business in particular requires any permits, have all of this electronic, because that's how they're gonna ask for it. I didn't have that ready, so I was literally like pausing the process, scanning things in, or if I realized I couldn't find my business tax license, I had to go get another copy. So just make sure whatever business setup documents that you have, keep them in a folder and then scan them so you always have an electronic copy. I'll tell you why that helped me as well. I got stuck in the process with one of my certifications, and I'm gonna show you that on one of the papers. And they reached out to me to say, hey, your application is pending. And now I actually had a real person. So I started talking back with them, like, okay, well, what do I need? And she sent me a list of everything. And I was like, okay, well, thank God I have this all electronically, because one, I'm actually talking to a real person, so I didn't want to lose her. And then two, having it all electronic, I was able to email her right away. Like literally, we were going back and forth minutes apart. She got my stuff, and the next day I was certified. So it just let everything in divine order, everything intentional, what I'm telling you. Scan all of your business documents, have them electronically available, and when you have that opportunity or need to, you can just send it to the person who you're going to be communicating with. That was the difference it made for me. So back here, so you got certification program. That's how you're going to know you're in the right place. Flip this page over. It should say D at the top. Scroll down and click certification and recognition programs. You with me, Mr. Rogers? Mm-hmm. Yep, okay. So now we're getting really down to it. So again, same process, just a different way. And I want you to see both ways in case you come across it the ways that I did. So here, certification and recognition programs. I don't really know what a recognition program is. I didn't know they had them. I was just focused on the certification piece. So you'll see it again, SBPW DVBE certification, exactly where we were not too long ago. You click on that link, here's what's going to come up next. Apply for or reapply for certification as a small business and or disabled veteran business enterprise, exactly where you want to be. So I literally just showed you two ways to get to the exact same thing, which was so crazy and when it was happening for me. You're going to scroll down a little bit, and that's when you're going to start to see the certifications that you can apply for. So let's go to the next page, which should be the last page. Okay. So you'll scroll and you'll see certification types. New, small business for the purpose of public works, that's what you want. You want to click the small business for public works. This, and then it's going to talk to you about the certification benefits and all the things that it does. So we talked about the benefits a little bit, why you want to be certified, being found in the database, getting access to the bids every day as they come through email. And then, of course, the county loves to do business with businesses that are certified. So that's it, literally. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see in very small fine print, you can now become a certified SBDVBE online. So they put it online now. They're letting us know. Go to Cali Procure to register your business. Also view online certification instructions. That's what this is. So coming right back to this. So this is going to get you in, it's going to get you registered, it's going to get you to apply for the certification for SB. And that basically means small business. So now you'll have your small business certification. Now, mind you, I started April 28th, and the next day I was certified with the SB. So it's literally like electronic kickback right away. I just thought it was this long, drawn out process, and everyone who I talked to about it didn't have such positive things to say. But I was certified the next day, so it worked for me. And that was the first one that I needed to kind of get in the door for some of the other ones. So any questions, I'll take a small break. Any questions about what we've covered thus far, and then I'll make sure you have what you need for that first part again.
Is certification expired? Like you have to re-up and reapply?
You know what?
A year, 2 years, something like that?
I think they do. However, I ain't there yet, so I'm not quite sure. I have a feeling though, there's some kind of, yeah.
It's a long period of time, so it's like
Right.
a few years. Because when now we look in the database, a lot of businesses are gone.
Yeah.
So, and they because again, DGS doesn't update as frequently as they should. So we will let them know, and then they will take them out at that point. But it's a long period of time. I don't know if it's 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
you'll
a
almost
lot.
forget.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so just be mindful.
Would you get notified, like, hey, you're certified? No, okay.
I want to put money on it.
Right, and that's the thing, it's kind of like, you literally don't know until you're like, oh, I'm expired. Right, I'm expired. When did I get expired? So, recap. Let me show you. These first 3 pages are going to get you to this page to start the process. So these go hand in hand, okay? And then these are the certifications that you can go for with the county, the most popular ones, okay? So let me catch you up. That, and then
No, I was in a department, both of the departments, as in clerical, we do a lot of for certain services. So one department, we would go into these websites, or go into Procure to look up business stuff and all that. So for me, we had to bid for some.
Literally, right?
Okay,
We can go based on. You can get down to city, to
that goes together.
woman,
And
to
then
women
this is
all.
for
But, small business, and, because they told you have to.
So it was like, this is the filing fees and stuff straight from Norwalk.
Okay.
You walk up in there, you see
Certain
this is about
businesses to look for these specific things to do, so like the supplies. Click all these different things, all these
So get
businesses
your
come up
FBN.
based on the city, whatever. Pick a couple of them.
Okay. And then these are next. This is next. And did you sign that?
No.
All right. We've covered those paperwork. So now Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. So I'm glad you're here, Robin, because you might be able to provide some insight on that.
Dr. Dominique, I
Yes,
was
ma'am.
just asking her,
Mhm.
you know, because this has been around for years, and I know like people come from other countries, they come over here and they get a business so fast. I'm like, you're not even American, how you get a business real? Not to be funny, you know,
Yeah,
not trying to be prejudiced.
It's
or nothing,
real.
but it's like, I'm like, well, why can't we do the same thing? Why we left out? And here you are helping us.
Thank you,
Free.
Father.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Listen, I have learned to teach everything, whether people like it or not. So that's my calling right now. So I'm just being obedient. Honestly, I really am. Because it doesn't always make sense to me, but I know everything in divine order. So that will get you your first designation, which at that point, you're on your way, because now you have the resources for the other ones. And then I'm going to wrap up with what you need and how to get into the portal where you'll see all of the ones that I've just handed out to you. So here's the new set of paperwork. In case you want to follow along. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mhm. So what you need to have handy. So I was literally copying and pasting this out of the email that she emailed me when I was pending in the system. So that's why my business name is there. Sorry about that. But this is the email she sent me, like, hey, you're pending. We still need information from you. And again, at the time that I was doing this, I just didn't know. So I thought my application was not pending. I didn't know what was going on. So when she emailed me, I'm literally like, oh my gosh, a person. Let me email her back. And I literally emailed her everything that she's asking for. This was for minority business, women business, disadvantaged business. Okay. So that's literally identifying your business as being a minority, being woman-owned, or in a disadvantaged area, or serving a disadvantaged community. So when she emailed me, she said, is your firm at least 51% minority owned? Yes, I'm the owner of my business, so I have 100% ownership. And I'm a Black woman, so there's my minority piece. Is your firm's daily operations managed by one or more minorities? Yes, me. Is your firm at least 51% woman owned? Yes, I'm a woman. I'm 100% woman owned. Is your firm's daily operations managed by one or more women? Yes, me. Is your firm currently certified as an MBE, WBE, DBE, or 8A by another public agency? So again, this is where it gets confusing because you can be certified by more than one agency. So that's why I wanted to give you my path and then just show you like you're on the right track if you see any of these images based on the screenshots. At that time, I said no, I wasn't. And then, if possible, identify at least one NAICS code for your specific industry. Hey, Sir Charles, you coming in?
I think I'm supposed to be uploaded.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I think it died. It was doing some beeping and, yeah, I don't see the red light no more. No worries, thank you, sir. So let's talk about this for a second, NAICS code. So let's get down to the bottom where I have it in big letters, NAICS code, and then that website. If you Google NAICS code, you're gonna get a website that looks really legit, but it's a for-profit company. The website you want is the one I have listed here, census.gov. So that was the first thing. Be mindful of that. So once you type in NAICS code, scroll down a little bit, scroll past the ad, scroll past the first website and get to the census.gov. This is important because not only for certification purposes, but for a lot of, I'll say, business with the government, classification, even for certain grants. Maybe you work with the Economic Development Corporation. Nationally, across the nation, and it stands for North American Industry Classification System. This is how our businesses are classified with like a It's either 5 or 6 digit code. I have it here. 6 digit code. So on the back, so this was the page that we're on. Turn that page over. On the back, I give you a screenshot of what the website is going to look like. The legit website is going to look like once you click on census.gov. To the left, you'll see under NAICS search, you'll see 2017, you'll see 2012, you'll see 2007. So these codes are updated every so often, according to the census for the most part. So 2017 is the one that you want to search in. Now, because I'm in financial planning or financial counseling, financial coaching, I just typed in financial planning. And the screenshot at the bottom is what came up for me when I typed in financial planning. It's a 6-digit code, 523930, financial planning services, customized fees paid by client. So this is literally in like a huge database system of how businesses are classified here in North America. Whatever your business is, you will type it in that search area the same way I did, and it's gonna reflect in the next, in your next window. It's gonna spit out maybe 1 or 2 or several codes, and then you have to choose the code that you feel best represents your business, right? And sometimes you might use several codes to represent your business. That's perfectly fine. But you at least want to identify one that you use consistently, because it's going to come up in a few applications, and it's going to come up in this certification application. So you just want things to be consistent. One is easy to remember, because I literally had to start, like, I have a notebook, and my notebook just has notes all over it. My codes are written, emails and passwords are written, because every department has their own portal. You got to set up an account, and I can't remember all these emails and stuff, so I had to start writing it down. So again, when you start this journey, it's a journey. Keep everything together, have your little notepad, have your own system for remembering, but write this stuff down, because as you continue to apply for things, they might say, well, what's your next code? And you're like, I don't know, and you have to look it up again. So if you don't want to have to always look it up, just write it down. And again, you may very well have several NAICS codes that you identify with your business. Just try to have one that's consistent across the board. So that's important. And let me see. So going back to what you need to have handy, because she asked for that. So I was like, oh, let me go get it. So now you'll need your NAICS code. Then she asked for me to provide documentation for the participation status I'm applying for. So what does that mean? That means I was applying for MBE and WBE. So now I had to provide proof that I'm a Black woman running my business. Well, how are you going to provide proof of that? They're going to give you, well, once you get to the point where you're actually talking to someone, or if you're in the application portal and you have this stuff readily available, you'll just be ready to give it to them. Things like, so for participation status of minority, your birth certificate, because your birth certificate is going to have your ethnicity on it. That's how they prove you are a minority. Your birth certificate is also going to have your sex on it, female or male. So that's another way that they're going to prove if you're a woman, business, enterprise. So those are the kinds of documentations that you can use for that. ID is another one, like your ID or your driver's license, because it has your picture. It also has your ethnicity on there. What else? There was like 3 others, but on the website and in the portal, you'll have these examples listed. But these are the kinds of things that they will ask for to prove you are who you say you are based on the certification you're applying for. Then you have to provide documentation for your company's legal structure. So what does that mean? Are you a LLC, sole prop, corporation? And the proof for that would be your FBN, the fictitious business name statement, which you go to Norwalk and you get that. So that's going to have your formation, how you set up your business. That's all the proof you need to send. Then they'll know, okay, yeah, you're set up as a corp, you're set up as an LLC, whatever it is. And you don't need to be a particular formation in order to get this certification. If you want to start off as a sole proprietor like I am, and then I'm going to switch to LLC, you can do that. So you don't have to be a certain designation, a certain formation in order to get this designation. So those are the things she asked me for to complete my application. So those are the things you're going to need to have handy as you start applying for all of these certifications. FBN, EIN, birth certificates, IDs, copies of your FBN, copies of your tax license or business license. And then again, if you sell any products that require a permit, copies of your permits. So have all of this stuff ready so that when it's time to put it into the system, you have it. Okay, that's that page. Now, this last page. So this last page is quite important because there's a link at the top. I never found this page just by like going to look for it. I literally stumbled upon it, but this is where I needed to be the entire time. All right, so you got the fast track. I put the link at the top. And again, DCBA, Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. So that's how you know it's legit. Because again, it's a lot of non-legitimate websites out there. And before you know it, they'll be trying to charge you something. So just pay attention to what you're clicking on. DCBA.lacounty.gov is legit. Small Business Services. So that's where you're gonna get on that link. This page is gonna pop up. Right here in this middle box, it says register for certification. So again, register for certification, which basically means here we go with another email and password. So get ready to write it down, okay? Once you click on register for certification, this next slide comes up, or next page, and then this little drop-down menu, and it says vendors. So again, what are we doing? Vendors, you're not a certified business yet. You're still a vendor according to them. Vendors who register with Los Angeles County can participate in online access to county open bids, be placed on bid lists generated online by county departments looking for prospective vendors, periodically be notified by email of county bids by specific commodities or services, and may qualify to register in the county's preference programs. So again, what are the benefits of certification? They're right there. Literally, you get access to everything that's out there. You get to see what bids are out there. Just by registering, you can search the bids. And that's always cool because like I'm in financial services, but I want to do other things. So if there's another business demand, like dirt hauling, and I could go get a truck, then I'm gonna be in dirt hauling. So it's good to just see what contracts are out there. Because that's also an indication of where the need is economically. So if you know there's a need and there's a demand for it, you're gonna keep seeing those contracts. It might be of interest to you. Then being placed, like I said, those primes, the primes get the billion-dollar contracts, then they go looking for subcontractors. They first look for certified businesses. They go to the database, who's here? So by being certified, you get placed in the database. You're now findable, half the battle. Periodically be notified by email of county bids by specific commodities or services. So I have gotten several emails that looked a little different than my normal emails. I'm like, oh, what's this? And it was literally a department reaching out for a very specific bid. So I don't know if that meant it didn't go out to everyone. I just know I'm certified, so I got it. And it didn't look like all the other emails that go out. So specific things that they're looking for, they send that out, and it might be a person on the other end, not just the automated system. And then of course, may qualify for county preference programs, which is exactly what we're doing by becoming certified. So that's that page. You're gonna then click, go to certification. And this next link is what's gonna come up, and it looks like this. Now this is where we wanted to be all along. Welcome to the County of LA Certification Portal. And again, that long website, I never saw this website ever. So when you go looking for this stuff, it's rather confusing. So once I got here, I said, okay, well, this is everything. Like it lists all of the certifications, LSBE, DVBE, SE, CBE. This is exactly where we want to be. Now, mind you, you don't see SB on here, which is small business certification. I never really understood that. But again, my small business certification came from the state. This is now county, right? So having that SB certification with the state really was kind of like a gateway for me to say, well, I'm certified with the state at the very least. So now to go into these county certifications, I do have some kind of certification that kind of separates me from the other businesses that might not have the SB. So again, everything in divine order, I wanted to show you the path to get that SB, which was with, let me remind you, the Cow Procure, which is this one. This is the one that's going to get you the SB certification with the state. Okay. All right. So then once you're here at this certification portal, have at it. Which one do you want to go for first? And literally, this is when the woman emailed me back, because I got to this point at some point in my journey, but I got here prematurely. So what I submitted wasn't a complete application. Here we are like a year later, and she's now emailing me saying, hey, your application is pending. I'm like, oh, I never knew what happened. But nevertheless, what do I need? She emailed me, I emailed her back, and I got my LSBE, I got my CBE. CBE is a combination of minority and women. So I'm all certified except for my SE. I'm going for that one right now. So once you choose, or let me finish this page. So then that's not the top of the page. If you scroll down a bit on that same page, you're gonna see request for certification. So I'll just read that really quickly. To request County of LA certification for those certification programs, a business must register as a vendor with LA County. Talked about that a little bit. Register an account in the DCBA certification portal. We're here right now. Complete all sections of the application, submit all of the requested supporting documentation. That's your paperwork that I keep saying, have handy, have electronic copies. That's when all of that comes into play. So once you're here, you're ready to just apply. Apply for all of them, one of them, however you want to do it. But this is where you need it to be the whole time. And again, they all correspond with these handouts. Robin.
So it doesn't matter what type of business that you have to make, like, do you have to have a certain business to apply for a certain certification? Or does
Nope.
it just matter, just do it?
Yep, doesn't matter what kind of business you have, because essentially, think about it. What are we doing? We're literally just getting a little tag on our business to say, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And no matter what you got going on or what you need a service for, if it's in my industry, I can provide it. And I've got these little tags, and the little tags just give us extra points. So technically, they could, like I said, the primers, they have events where they need caterers, or they need decorators, or they need somebody to do accounting for a project, or like whatever your industry is. They need a trainer to come in and train one of their clients, or they need a daycare service. I've seen daycare, like literally anything they need. If that's your industry, if that's your business and you're certified, you can be that provider. Ultimately, I think what I'm learning is I would love to have more than one business, like in different industries, to just cover the demand, because it is so much demand right now in construction in particular. And there's not enough women in construction. So there's like tons of programs for that right now. I'm kind of thinking about it, because that's not going to go away. I mean, they've got, whether it's the stadiums, the airport, preparing for the Olympics, and Metro, we've still got a few years under our belt before some of this stuff is even ready to go. So, the programs that are out here to support us in getting experience, a few weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 12 weeks. So, if you can create the time to do it, I say go for it. And then you're expanding your ability to capture some of these contracts. Any questions about what we've covered? No, it's a lot, but really it's not that much. I just wanted to take you through my experience so you'll be familiar with things, Ms. Deborah.
So I know that you're not gonna be doing this anymore. And if we get stuck, can we still rely on you?
Of course. So in full transparency, August 29th is my last day here. I will be, I know, but listen, my contact information is right there. I encourage you to take a picture of it, reach out to me. I am still a resource, and I'll be following up with you, Mr. Rogers, one-on-one. Yeah, last day, I'm going full-time me, so we'll just.
You doing what?
I'm going full-time me. So I'm gonna be doing my own business. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. I've been running my business part-time for several years, but I am completely convinced, everything in divine order, that in order for me to grow the business the way I know I can and want to, I just have to go on my own. Like, yeah, truly. And I don't feel ready, and readiness is relative. So, you know, you just have to do it. And I figure, I always believe God takes me through things so then I can teach them to my clients. So everything I do, I'm walking in it. I'm going out on my own. I tell my clients about that. Well, start your own business. Go out on your own. I'm doing it. So again, I appreciate you. I honor you. If there's anything that I can do in this process, reach out to me. My contact info is there. Again, if you get stuck, Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, they manage this entire process. So you can call them up. I even have a contact or two now, because I was like, hey, I need some materials. I'm doing a workshop. And they were like, oh, wait, who are you? Do you work for us? And like, no, I'm just a regular person teaching this. It was like, hold on, we can't send you anything yet. So I thought that was so interesting, you know, like, it just the politics of all this stuff, right? It's out here, but you gotta be somebody in order to teach it. And I'm like, listen, everything in divine order. We about to teach this to people so we know how to get this money. But once everything came down, they were like, oh, okay, you're cool. I was like, of course I'm cool. Give me the material. So they sent me a few things, and that's what you have here. That's it for me. So I would love to take any questions you might have. And again, I will be offering free financial coaching. I just don't know what it looks like just yet. In my mind, I'm thinking that I'll offer at least 3 sessions a month as my way of giving back to my community and just being a resource. But going full-time me, I will be in business here in LA County. I'm still here, I'm findable, I'm Googleable, but that's my contact info. Please reach out if I can be a resource. Any questions you might have, I'll do my best to direct you and to support you. Thank you for your attention. All right, we'll stop this recording. And
This number 323-881-3964, is that the number you're talking about?
oh, let me see.